gelato provided by Boris and quick cake provided by Home Systems. I'd like to invite any other people who would like to say happy birthday to Yeretsgin, wish her well, or relate an interesting anecdote. Do we have any volunteers? And please keep it short. Yes. Bottoms in now.
My greetings, everybody. Yeretsgin. I'm gonna go there. Oh. Yeretsgin, I had to come here to speak. Everybody. Okay. My greetings, everyone. Yeretsgin is not a stranger to anyone. And are you listening to me? I am. I don't have notes. I'm not going to read anything, if you don't mind. But I have to say something about Yeretsgin, which I will. My wife would say, why are you having tears in your eyes when you speak about this? It's an emotional issue for me. When we first came to this country in 1988, here we were from a place called Lebanon, and then Cyprus, and then God knows where else. Here I came with two little girls. One was about 4, the other one was 7. And we rented, in fact, before we rented anything, we stayed in a hotel down the road, Holiday Inn. First Sunday we were here, the very first Sunday we were here, Leda and I brought the kids to church. Thank God we did. We met your beloved husband, and we met you, and we talked a little bit. Now I have 2 grown-up kids, very Armenian, very church-oriented, and for that I can only say thank you, Yeretsgin, and wish Yera is up there listening to me as well. Thank you. Thank you, and again, thank you. What happened with the Sunday schools and the Armenian schools and your very presence? They looked at you and they came home and they said, wow. I said, never mind the wow, but that's Yeretsgin. And Yeretsgin, she did everything. It was nature for her. She wasn't trying to do something. It came out of her as a normal gesture. And my kids, when they speak about you today, they say, Aman Aswats. Thank you, Yeretsgin. And I bring the thanks from Natalie, who's in New Jersey. She has 2 kids. And my Sarin, she has no kids now, but then she is not here. She's in Boston. But between the 3 or 4 of us and everybody else I know, can I come and give you a get out? Thank you so very much. I could not.
Abres, thank you so much.
Hi everyone, my name is Rubik. Let me tell you, I'm Armenian from Iran. And as far as I could remember, the clergies, such as their hires, they were scary people. And honestly, from childhood, that's how I remember. But when I came to United States in 1978, the first week I went to Erhard's and Yeretsgin's house. They invited us, it was me and friend Yeretsgin, if you remember. So anyway, I couldn't believe it. How Erhard's are inviting, common folks like me in dinner. Of course, Erhard was very, very kind, and Yeretsgin was even kinder. So I was very impressed. And from that on, a good friendship started between me and then my wife, Narik, and Yeretsgin and Dave Erhard. I'll tell you, anytime Yeretsgin would walk and see me coming across and said, "Oh my God, my boyfriend is coming." I was shy. I said, "My God." We were having a different impression of Yeretsgins and their hives. I mean, what's going on here? Anyway, God bless you, Yeretsgin. You're not only a mom, you're a mom to everyone, as well as a Tatik and grandma to everyone. And from bottom of my heart, I would say we love you very much, and we wish you many, many more years. And certainly, I'm going to make your 100-year-old cake as well.
Owner, and this beautiful cake was made in his shop. And Rubik has done this for every and each occasion in this community. He makes beautiful cakes and he sends them in for free. And we enjoy every time. It's just delicious cakes and cookies and everything else. And his personality is such a loving and caring person. I enjoy being friends with Kanari very much, and with him and their family, very Christian family, and I like that very much. Thank you, Ruby.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the booklet, there were some, I bet you didn't know, lines about Yeretsgin's past. I'm going to add another one. I bet you didn't know that Yeretsgin not only had Rubik as a boyfriend in this church, but also Boris as a boyfriend in this church. Boris, who also cooks delicious food for everyone, for every event in this church. And actually, the list goes on. There's Greg Kukumian that I know about, and some other people as well. Probably Albert Kapikan is in there. While she has had many boyfriends, she has always been true to Erhard. And I can attest to this throughout time, because as we were preparing these home videos, I can't count how many times Erhard reached over and tried to kiss Yeretsgin on video to show that he was the main one.
Գիտեք, ընդհանրապես երբ որ հոգեվարական խոսի, այդ փակման խոսքը շնորհակալություններում խոսքն է, եւ այդ շնորհակալություններում առաջին երթա այս այսօր կազմակերպիչներուն եւ մասնավորապես շնորհակալություն Բորիսին եւ իր խումբին, որոնք ներս կաշխատին, մենք ոսե կվայելենք իրենց աշխատանքին արդյունքը։ Բոլորտած զավարեք Բորիսը եւ իր աշխատողները։ Բարեկամ ունեի, երբ որ ասանք Ճաշկերուտ կամ հանդեսմելուլար used to call the MC and tell him that, hey, I want to be the first one to speak. I said, why? That's not your turn. No, I have to be the first one. I said, why? Because after everybody speaks, I have nothing to say. So that's the case. So much was said about Yeretsgin, and Din Shahinian gave a huge CV of Yeretsgin, her activities, his actions, etc., etc. I think there is nothing that we could add what Din Shahinian said. But as somebody who has been here, this is my 24th year. And thank you. I have followed Yeretsgin and their Kalayjian. Their contribution to this community and the Darwinians has been enormous. On behalf of my church and my people, I would like to thank them and ask them to give His blessing to both of them, that they may continue, this journey, because as long as you live, your trip does not finish. One of my friends in Switzerland was 85, 86 years old. He told me, Sir, please pray for me that I live another 4 or 5 years to become 90 years old. I said, no, I'm not going to pray. He said, I'm asking you to pray for me to be 90. I said, no, I'm not going, because you might be 100. Actually, he passed away exactly at the age of 100. Ասիկա վերջինիչը, վերջին թերն է, Ուսան հայրամեգիններ երգման, ասպազ օրնեց եզի, իմ պոլոր պարիկները ծեր վրալան, ծեր զավակներում, ծեր թորնիկներում, ասպազ եզի վահե է պաշպան։
Չեմ գիտեր, եթե բոլորդ շատ անգամ կգարցենք, որ ամեն մարդ ամեն բանել ունի. All of us think that the other person knows about whoever is here talking, reciting, etc., etc. Լսեցեք դեռ. Akazian Serpazan has been on very high level official positions in the World Council of Churches, which means a lot to those of us who understand what this is all about. And he was elected a few times on different levels, and he's been traveling all over the world, going and talking and giving a Christian message, and they're bringing their messages to us, because there are certain communities, they are so very Christian, we really have to learn from them. And Serpazan is the liaison. He comes and tells us all about his visits here and there, all his experiences and so on. And I've the honor of serving with him in the Rishanian Foundation scholarship meeting and getting to know his life stories much closer. He has a very, very interesting, he has to write a book, by the way, with all these experiences he has had in every restaurant in the whole wide world. And all those people that he meets and talks and etc., etc. So, that's enough. Okay. Thank you very much, Serpazan, and thank you for being here. It was my honor. To tell you the truth, Serpazan, I said, yes, Serpazan has reserved this dinner for me, but maybe those days he might be in Africa or wherever, and he may not be able to be here, but thank God he's here, and I feel very humbled and I'm honored that he's here. And we love you, Serpazan. And Boris, Zaven thought that I'm not going to talk about you, but since he brought that up, now, Terhair has had many dinners. This is my first dinner. Derhard had his ordination 40th, his ordination 58th, his retirement, his this and his that. And a lot of dinners came and went. And do you know that Boris sponsored all those dinners, every one of them? Thank you, Boris. God bless you. God reward you for your generous, generous spirit. And you're still my boyfriend. Okay, since I'm up, I wanted to say one joke that happened to Derhard, which I think is a very cute story. I think we should remember Derhard today too. We were at Elberon Church. Derhard had been to quite a few different places in the West, in the Midwest, and so on and so forth, different churches. And this was Elberon Church, where there was no church. Serpazan called and said, "Are you willing to take a challenge and create a church in Elberon?" This is an ocean area and a beautiful, beautiful, very fantastically expensive. And when we went there, Serpazan said, "You're only going to receive $10,000 a year." Which Serpazan? Serpazan Turco. And he said, there is no church. You have to build the church. You have to build the community. And later on, the structure, the edifice, the church. And Derhard said, "Yes, I'm taking the challenge." And we went. And Derhard took the telephone book and started checking names with Jan, I-A-N, and started calling everybody who has a Jan ending. And then he said, "I'm the new priest, can I come and visit you, etc." And they said, some of them said, "Of course Derhard." Or many of them said, "No, we are not interested in it. We are going to another church. Evangelical church, or here or there." So Derhard got all those names who are going to these other churches and started visiting their priests. And he went to one priest and he said, "Sir, I've come here to ask you a favor." And the priest, minister, or whoever says, "What is it? What is it that I can do for you?" He says, "I came here to ask you to let my people go." And the minister said, "Who are your people?" He said, "Okay, I have all the names here. They told me that they belong to your church because we didn't have an Armenian church. Now that we have an Armenian church, I want you to let them go, to come to their roots." He says, "Let me see those names." So he takes the names and he starts reading. "Oh yeah, I know this family. They come to church every Christmas and every Easter." And Derhard says, "Yes, that's my people."
Yes, beautiful stories and memories blessed memories of Derhard Delvertanes. We remember him indeed today, and I'm sure that he is here in his spirit, and he is watching and rejoicing. And I also would like to bring my congratulations and join also my blessings together with Serpazan Haj's blessings. And congratulations from our parish council. Yes, your 90th birthday, our women's guild, our Yeretsgin Jennifer, and all the organizations, ACYA, youth groups, that you were the foundation, you laid the foundation for all those groups and that organization within our church. So your presence, your spirit is still there, you know, even in the new generation, because they have been raised up with that spirit since I came 15 years ago, and I can still feel that. And it's a great foundation to build upon. You put the ground, the foundation, and we are building over it. Everyone is telling a story connected with Yeretsgin, and I also want to tell a story. When I first came 15 years ago, and I entered into this church after I have been interviewed and all this legal process and so on, and Yeretsgin greeted me, and the first time when I looked at Yeretsgin, I saw a motherly figure in her. The first thing that kind of stayed with me in my memory is as a mother, and I think that figure still stays and is still there. Every time I look at her, I see a mother not only to her children, to her family, immediate family, but also a mother to the community, to everyone whom she touched with her words, with her kindness, and with her heart. Thank you, Yeretsgin, for being a mother to your children, a mother to this parish, a mother to this community. And may God grant you many, many more years so that we can enjoy your wisdom and your guidance. God bless you, Yeretsgin.
Good evening again to everyone, and thanks for coming tonight. If you think about it, Yeretsgin is thanking me and her family, which they done a great job. Zalvan, you guys, all of you guys done a great job, and the parish council. If you think about it, once a person dedicates almost 7 years of her life to the community and to us, you know, coming just to a dinner for one night, it's her to thank me, or it's me to thank her for, you know, and all of us for what she's done, and her family, what they have done for us. It's interesting that many years ago I sat down with Terhire, and we were talking about, you know, me and he, we did this a lot. By the way, he was a gentleman that we could, you know, always trying to see who's going to beat the other one with the jokes. And I'm telling you, it was almost a competition between us. And, you know, the Yeretsgin was not the only competition, the jokes also. So. And it's interesting, one night we were sitting, and I was telling that, I said, I just watched a movie. The movie was Contact. I don't know if some of you guys had the opportunity to see the movie or not. Every movie that I watch that impacts me, you know, there's a section of the movie perhaps that I take, you know, in my memories for many years. And in the movie it was interesting that was Matthew McConaughey and I forgot her name, Jodie Foster, thank you very much. And the spirit of the movie was Jodie Foster, her mother dies when she was born, and then, you know, when she was 6, 7 years old, her father dies. And she becomes an atheist. She says, you know, God doesn't exist. If there was a God, you know, it doesn't leave a child, you know, without parents at that age. You know, what kinds of God will do that? So as she's growing up, you know, she becomes a scientist and an astrologist. And Matthew McConaughey was actually a spiritual guy studying, you know, to become a priest. And at the college they were together. So at a certain point, one night she gets up and she leaves and writes a note that, you know what, our path cannot be together. So you're, you know, following another path that I'm never going to believe into it, and I don't want to be an obstacle to you, and I don't want you to be an obstacle to me and all that. Time goes by, long story short, time goes by, and as she was recording voices from the space, noises they come in, and she was able to register these noises, these sounds that they come from space. And Matthew McConaughey, in the meantime, became the spiritual advisor of the president. Again, I know it gets a little bit long, but at a certain point, this noise that came in, it was a code they were sending from space to create a spaceship to travel, you know, through the time and through the space. And they had to select who's going to travel. Just one person had to travel. And of course, she was the, most, valid candidate to do this. And because the fund was coming from international, people and all that, so from every country there was a representative that was going to ask questions. And everybody's asking questions. She was almost qualified. And Matthew McConaughey, that was sitting in the meeting, is asking a question from her. The last question says, ma'am, would you tell us if you believe in God? And she was quiet, and he says, would you answer the question, please? And he says, well, I believe in what I believe. And everybody was surprised. They said, no. You have to answer the question. Do you believe in God? And she admits in the meeting that she doesn't believe in God, and so she was not selected to travel through the time machine. And when they come out, and she was very upset with Matthew McConaughey, says, how selfish you are. I know that you love me, and, you didn't allow me to travel just because you wanted that I stay in here. He says, no. I'm going to allow you to go. The only thing is I cannot allow you to go without having your faith and you believe in God. And he says, you know what, I'm a scientist. If I didn't have all these noises, registered and prove that there is a code, nobody was going to believe me. So I came to an understanding, being a scientist, that in order to believe in something, I have to feel with one of my 5 senses. Either I have to see it, smell it, touch it, taste it, or whatever. But if you cannot let me to see your God, if I cannot see your, the God that you're talking about, touch it and all that, I'm not going to believe in it, Prove it to me. And he says, okay, I tell you another thing. He says, did you love your dad? I says, no, I didn't love my dad. I still love my dad. He's gone, but I still love him. He says, well, I don't believe you. He says, what do you mean you don't believe me? He says, take from your heart the love that you're talking about. Let me touch it. Let me feel it. Let me touch it with one of my 5 senses. If you can do that, then I'm going to show you my God. So the question is, these are the type of spiritual talks that I had with Teraj for so many years and so many times. And these are the exchanges that we had together and all that. So if it's something that you believe, you have to believe it in here. And if it's something that's going to be touchable or, visible, then I think it's going to lose the spirit and the belief that we have. And again, Yeretsgin, without both of you knowing, throughout the years, you affected our life, my life, Carmen's, and our kids, and we thank you very much. And again, it's been an honor, and I will do this 100 times again, and as Rubik said, with Rubik, he's going to make the cake at 100, I'm going to do the dinner, okay? Thank you. Sorry for the long, speech.
Hello, my name is Petros Malakian. My wife Anahid, we both are from Armenia. I have a very unique story to tell you. I will make sure you don't miss this. Okay? Did you know that Erhard, Father Bertanes, was ordained as a celebrate priest? Did you know that? And at the same time, he decided and asked a request to Erhard to get married. So the question my wife and I, we struggled for years, was that Erhard's decision to get married, was that before he met Yeretsgin Anahid or after? So my wife, she's a literature critic, Ragana kid, and my father gave her a name, Ordu Bozan. You know what Ordu Bozan means? Those of you from Turkey, yeah. So when Erhard was telling that story about his life, we were in Yerevan in a pizza place, and the moment Erhard tells us about his story, Anahid says, "What did you say, Anahid? Oh, you know what? Okay." So she does. Erhard. So now I understand. So you met Anahid, and that's why you changed your mind and decided to become a priest rather than a celebrate priest. Erhard became very serious and said, no. Well, fast forward, 2022. So I shared this story at Easter dinner. I have some witnesses here. We were having a Cine Monte Yeretsgin's favorite. And I start entertaining the story, and his sons didn't know some of the parts of the story. So I asked Yeretsgin, this was their highest response, so I want to hear your side of the story. Okay? She started telling the story that, you know, when she was so concerned about the Armenian community and so on, she would go to their highest office, and she was surprised that he would ask a lot of questions about her life, about her decisions, what she wants to do, get married, and so on. Okay, I can take that. So Yeretsgin told a story, politically correct story, but sitting in this room tonight, I am getting more doubts on what I told. Apparently, Zalman, that's what he had in his mind. But the picture that I saw, the wedding, and all the kisses that he was, I have to tell you, maybe his mind was no, but his body gesture tells something else. Who would not marry this beautiful young lady, Anahid, who still is beautiful? So those of you who wish Anahid the 100th anniversary, I have another idea. Their idea is with the Lord. She's free. She's beautiful. Why don't we put a wedding before her 100th year anniversary? What do you think?
Yes. One of these days we get together and I'll tell you the whole story. And the real story and the true story. Okay?
Something about that. Not you, Yeretsgin. When we first met, he said, "Oh, young man, where do you come from?" I said, "Beirut, Lebanon." He said, "No. Where are your parents from?" I said, "My father is a Nazi." He looked at me and said, "Ugh." I was like, "Wait a minute. So where's your mother from?" "I love you, dear man." He said, I said, "Kiddies." He said, "Now you're talking." And we became best of friends from that minute onwards. And thanks to you, Yeretsgin, thanks to you, you made this happen by marrying somebody like that. But the combination, the general package, and the boys are here.
Thank you, Mr. Zahir. Clara Antonia.
In the beginning,
Excuse me. That's
in the beginning,
awesome, Mr. Christie.
70 years ago, when we bought the church and I walked through the doors, and we had our priests, our high serp, we had Bishop Hopkin, and then came Deadhard. And Deadhard, of course, he was commuting back and forth, but he had to use somebody, so he used our address, Yeretsgin, as his home here in Washington, in Maryland. And so from then on, Deadhard has been part of our family in raising my sons in this church. And Yeretsgin, I hadn't met Yeretsgin yet, but I met Yeretsgin when my son went to Camp Newbar, and she was his nurse. She nursed him back to health from a big accident. And as the years went by, we have cherished our friendship together. Yeretsgin, I love you. And I can't tell you how much you have been a part of our lives. And it's going back to cooking. My son, Levon, he loves Levon's lentil soups. And as a result, he said, Yeretsgin, I have to come to your house to learn how to make it. No, Levon, I'll make it for you. No, I'll buy everything and bring it to you. So he went to her house and he made her lentil soup. And now he just couldn't have that same taste like whatever I made. He liked Yeretsgin's the best. And Yeretsgin, thank you for this day. And thank you for joining our ranks. So now we are looking forward to what God has planned for us all. Thank you.
I want to combine with you. So we had just moved, and my husband said, let's have Did Hyde come bless the house. And I thought that was a very good idea, and we invited Did Hyde and Yeretsgin to bless the house. And I had fixed one of my family recipes, and I was so excited about talking to Yeretsgin and Did Hyde. And so they walked through the door, and my 5-year-old son walks straight up to Did Hyde and looks up at him and he says, "Would you like to watch VeggieTales?" This was not my plan. And so then VeggieTales, which was Jonah and the Whale, gets put on. So for the next hour and a half, we're watching Jonah and the Whale. Not my plan. My food's getting cold. So finally the movie's over, I put the food down, we eat, and then it goes into a game of Go Fish. So we all played Go Fish. My husband was sort of the arbiter. And it became very competitive. And the competition was between Did Hyde and Yeretsgin. Yes! And I remember he tricked her into finding out how many twos she had. And he asked her for all her twos, and my little friend here was shocked. But she did resign her twos. Afterwards, when I thought of that, I thought, what a better, nicer way of endearing your community to you. And to this day, Dikran loves Did Hyde and talks about Did Hyde all the time. And he certainly loves you in our lunches. So the Balabanians, thank you very much. And Did Hyde, who we will always love. And so I'm looking more to more of our girl time. Okay?
Thanks so much. Well, we can go on all night like this, I think. Or we can sing. And I would like to, where's Marquez? Let's do another song, and I'd like to invite Marquez Kashishan also to do a song. But we've lost our maestro. Where's Edita? While we're waiting for them, one of the sweetest fellows in this church, Jack Kalayjian, if you guys know him, you know what I mean, couldn't be here today. His wife was getting knee surgery, but he did send a note to Yeretsgin, wishing her a wonderful 90th birthday, and also remarking that you have touched our two lives in so many ways, including individually in our family in so many positive ways, and we feel privileged to have gotten to know you. We wish you a wonderful 90th celebration. That was Jack Kalayjian. Edita, we're going to sing again.
Oh, okay.
While we're waiting for the music to be queued up, Malvina Brown.
Good evening, everyone. Yeretsgin. I go back, way back, and I remember an evening that was magical. A group of us from the ACYOA had gone to a place called, I think it was called Woman's. It was in Virginia.
Oh, yes.
Who remembers that place? Okay, we called it Lochman's Plaza. Did Hyde and Yeretsgin were new, so they graced us with their presence. Well, Did Hyde gets up and starts singing songs. He's singing romantic songs. He's singing non-religious songs, and we were shocked. We were so pleased and had such a great time. So the competition starts. Yeretsgin gets up and she starts dancing. And she shows all of us from ACYO all the dances that she knew. I guess they were from New Jersey, whatever. We had such a wonderful time. And we learned all these beautiful dances. And it made me see the other side of a religious couple. And it was wonderful, it was endearing. I hate to say that Deadheart got into a lot of trouble from parish council because he sang romantic songs. Yeretsgin, I'll see you at the 100th. God bless you. Thank you.
Okay, now Can Serhan. Erebuni Yerevan. Okay.
Baştan hobi yaman yaman ey oynada yaman yeskez siri karnan hobi yaman yaman ey Böyle yaman yarsminika Sirelçiga Hoydale yaman Kezar novi Dönig veran Yaman yaman Hoydale yaman Ezar novin Dönig veran Yaman yaman Ey can kapama Kapama Ey can kapama Yolum neçe kapama Anan kazanç tutumla Anan deri mevdum Ağır çakas ağetsin Ömrü meçir ağetsin Yalan neler oldu Yalan neler oldu Yalan sanik sana ver Hasta bunu hasta ver Yalan olik yalan Çok aç kesuzum avur Can Ey can Ey can Ey can Can Ey can Ey can Ey can Ey can Kapama Amon kodum kapama Ey can kapama Hürmeti kapama can
Գնգեր ուրախսազով Հայաստանի կարմիրքինի Խմեն գնգեր ոսկետազով Հայաստանի կարմիրքինի Աղբյուրի մեզ վարար լինի Հայաստանի կարմիրքինի Ու որ գմի հալահալ լինի Հայաստանի կարմիրքին Սարեր թորեր, մենք սարտարենք Կանանչ կարմիր այքիներով Մարանները իքլեցնենք Հայաստանի այքիներով Աղբյուրի մեզ վարար լինի Հայաստանի կարմիրքինի Ովոր խմի հալահալ լինի Հայաստանի կարմիրքինի Արամ պերիկ մերդուրը Ադր չարտաս աղեցինք Դնգի մեջը դավեցինք Եկան մելերու օրգուր, եկան մելերու օրգուր, եկան սանիք սանա, աստատունու աստապեր, եկան մոդիկ կերավոր, զոկանչ կեսուր ու կավոր չա։ Սեցին մի անուշ ծայն, իմ ձերացած մորմոդեն հայլեց խշմուրը ուրախության հայցածոս խոր երած Գարգաչախոս աղբյուրն այնտեղ տավանում էր մարգարի նա հստակ որպես փյուրեր անիրազեր սնորանի և մեղետին լխուր մորգան հիշեց մարգուտ յանսորեր մոր սամպույրը ես զգացի ախ այդ ինչու երազ է մոր սամպույրը ես զգացի ախ այդ ինչու երազ է Նոյան դավանի եկած ու կանգնած իսարը դավրոսի ավետի սկուդա հայդյան սերունդին է եկավ կրում թորքոմազ Արդնցեք հայեր, կաչած զավակներ, արեք միության զենք ուզնախներ, շուտով կազմեցեք սիրո խմպակներ, արեք կաչության դեք ու իզակներ։ 500 ամյամիքուն կնացանք, զաստված ու զեղբայր իսպար մորացանք, սիրո միության լաթեր բերգացանք, ադելության ծեր խաղալիք դարձանք։ Մորցանք հայրենիք, մորցանք Հայաստան, կորուսիկ մեր պարկն ու Արմենիստան, մասվը Ռուսաստան, մասվը Վասկաստան, մնացինք դժվար, անդեր, անպաշտպան։ Երկինք պարգացավ, հայրենիք լացավ, մեր ջուրն ու քինին մեզ արյուն դարձավ, խաչյալն Իսուս մեզի մորացավ, հայերուն բաժին մնաց սուպ ու ցավ։ Այսքան կնանալը մեզի հերիք է, թմրիլն ու բարգիլ խիստ մեծ չարիք է, սիրելն ու սիրվիլ արդեն բարիք է, ծեր տանգիրարու կանի ուշու չէ, եկեք միանանք, փանանք դպրոցներ, մեր մադաղ մանկանց համար վարժոցներ, վարենք, փորփոքենք սիրո հնոցներ, մեր սարած սրդին ըլլան ալոցներ։ Chuki besansan I sing bespare. Latin I den yaskash verusare. Herikal sezi, herike vader. Herik merpajinen artsun.
But one of our guests, can you help me please? We are going to sing 2 more songs. Khenjuikiye, Seran Khamen Kayreni. Together, we are singing it. Khamen Kayreni, Gidekçe. Ready? Khamen Kayreni, Kenasa Kedo, Dines Yerchani, Kashmines Vishno, Lari Tambarala, Lari Tambarala, Lari Tambarala, Lari Tambarala.
Taparil Bishkan Pau
Lari Tambarala,
Lari Tambarala, Lari Tambarala, Lari
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Now, so as I said, we're going to have 4 dances. we're going to learn. I picked very, very simple moves from Kochari, very, and two kind of Hamzala. That's right. Which one are you going to do? So who's going to dance? Please. 1, 2, 1, tap, tap. 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 1, 2, 1, tap,
God bless your our own children. It meant a lot to us as well. We touched our family. God bless.
Okay, start. 3, 2, tap, tap. 3, 2, tap, tap.
All of Tanzanas that we are known today. So this was only two kind of them. So I know four only. And Kochari is coming from before Christian days, okay? So it was fighting, like ram fighting. So that was Kochari, fighting all the time. And then everybody in Armenia and Armenian Banashkar. They know how to dance Ververi. Of course, many of them, they have their kind of style, but this is the basic style of Ververi. 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, okay? Let's try it.
Do you know this?
It's easy. Okay.